Woo! Alright. First off, that makes me happy. Right here. Okay. This distance between heel and butt has to be close. This I'll call the heel tuck. Okay. What this allows you to do, and we'll see, is it allows you to kick. Look how high that is. That is a high section back kick right there. This is easily someone's face. It is a dream to be able to back kick someone in the face. And the reason why is because a back kick is probably one of the strongest kicks ever, and if you can land a kick like that, it would go down in the history books as probably you being the scariest person ever. Where the tuck needs work. So this is your left leg back kick, and that's okay. So right here, you see that? The distance here on your heel tuck, that means your back kick would get jammed before hitting this person, right? That's their, this is the Hogu. So, whereas on this first one, look how close that hip tuck is, okay? So, but yes, we want to keep this a little bit closer if we can. That gives you more power. But my goodness, look how high those kicks are. Oh my god, you would have missed. Someone that's your height, you would have kicked above them. Like a few inches. You're gonna have a really easy time throwing spin heel kicks. I assure you that. Alright, so here we see Jinhu pauses between his kicks, and that's okay because we're starting to learn this. Keep this a little bit closer, the heel tucking into the hip. The extension is a little bit low, right? So if we're sparring with someone who's roughly Jinhu's height, we need to kick someone like above the belt, right? So if you want to get more height on these kicks, there are a few things that you can do. First off is getting that heel closer to your hip. The second thing would be to jump higher, right? So I know you can jump at least this high. Right now we're jumping about here. So we can definitely work on your vertical jump. And I think the reason why you're not jumping and you're kicking as high is because you're pausing in between. Now, I think going forward, Jinhu, what we should do is try to smoothly combine both the jump and the kick extension, right? So when you jump up and you're gonna tuck your heel to your butt and you're gonna extend immediately rather than breaking them in two steps. But the reason why you're doing it in two steps right now is so that we can have a straight back kick, and you've clearly demonstrated that you can do that. So now step 2 is making this jump and this extension at the same time, and we'll talk about that more in the weeks to come. Alright, very good. This fighting stance. Looking over here, let's look over our shoulder. The first thing I noticed, and I'm gonna go back when I first watched your video, look at this foot, okay? And look how floppy this foot is. Flop, right? It's pointing upwards. Now it's pointing that way. And now it's pointing upwards again. So I'm gonna do my best to draw. And let's just imagine your opponent is like right here. Okay? When you throw your back kick, you want your foot, your heel, to make contact with the person, right? If you kick without you having your foot flex, when you actually make contact, your foot's gonna be so relaxed that it's gonna be hard to make solid contact. Now, what you can do to make this a little bit better, hold on. you see your heel's close to your butt, which is good, but this foot right here needs to be flexed, right? You see right now it's all floppy. That it shows me that your foot's relaxed, right? So one of the big things we need to work on is keeping this foot flexed, right? Remember, you can either point, like this is your leg, you can either point your toes or you can flex your feet, right? And on a back kick, we want the flexed foot option, okay? So we're just here. All right, so let's check out this other side here. See if there's any big differences. Oh, it's pretty good. You still got the floppy foot. That's an easy fix though. You're jumping right in between both your feet, like so. The front foot's supposed to jump in the middle, which you're doing. Your heel is coming. Well, it could be a little bit closer to your butt. I think you should try to keep your hands inside your guard. Good. Your foot's landing halfway between. Heel's close, extension is straight, and is your feet landing? Bang. Okay, so in terms of timing, after you throw your jump back kick and you return to your position, immediately switch your feet. Alright, so your eyes are looking here. Remember, we can turn our head just slightly to peek over and see where we're kicking. We're landing a little bit forward, so after this foot immediately should replace this foot. Like bring it down and then it switches. Right, so I'll just show you real quick what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch. This one I'm doing where I pause just to show what Jinhu is doing. Notice how Bob is like moving like a little bit. The reason why Bob is moving a little bit is because the kick is not that strong. And it's because it's not really actually a jump back kick. What I'm doing is just jumping into position and then extending my kick. This next kick is an actual jump back kick. Okay, so you'll notice a few things. One, I'm going to jump a little bit higher. The second thing is as I jump, I'm going to bring this heel close to my butt and then immediately extend. So my heel comes up, it's close, and then I extend straight. And then this foot replaces this foot immediately. Is I jump, and this is kind of where a lot of people are at right now because that's how I've been instructing you. Is first thing we do is we jump, that's number one, and the second thing we do is we bring our heel up close to our butt here. All right, and my head and my shoulders are kind of facing the opposite direction of where my opponent is here. Okay, now part two is the extension. Notice the pause. Notice the pause between me kicking, right? I've been here for a minute and now I'm finally extending my kick. So this is not an actual jump back kick. This is kind of like training wheels for a jump back kick. I jump, and you'll notice I jump a little higher and I don't come back down. I tuck this leg up too. This leg comes up. This heel stays close to my butt. I'm peeking over my shoulder, right? I'm turning, and then I extend my kick in straight. Because you want to be able to see your opponent when you actually do throw this back kick. You'll notice I'm pretty high off the ground right here, right? So a lot of the power from the jump back kick comes from the actual jump up, right? The jump up plus the rotation of my hips from here to now here is what causes the power. So I'm just gonna go back like a little bit so you see. So we're here. I jump up. My hips turn. I extend straight. So the whole timing of the jump back kick is as you jump up, you extend your kick. And that timing is what we're going to work on going forward. If it doesn't make sense right now, from what I'm showing you, that's okay. It'll make a lot more sense after we practice this. Yeah, it's gonna be a matter of repetition, and it's gonna be a lot easier to practice a jump back kick on like a punching bag or something that you can hit, because doing it in the air is a completely different experience than doing it on a person, or even like on something that will push back. So you can see that my knee's kind of pointed out here. So yeah, it's not the best jump back kick. I would ideally have my knee pointing down. You can see it's kind of pointing like that way. And you could say that I'm a little over rotated here. But you know, it will work in competition. So we'll take it. All right, well, thanks for watching. Hope this was useful. I hope it's a good preview for what we're gonna learn next. Have a good night.